Hey, Gavax here. Oh, Clint. So, he came on a GMM, you guys know Good Morning Madden, and talked today about defense in Madden 22 and gave some stats. And we're going to go over that. We're going to talk about that. We got some new content on its way. We got Joe Hayden and Veterans tomorrow. I guess I can show you that stat here, card in a second. But no mention of Team of the Week either, so we don't know. Tune into the EA Madden NFL channel tonight, exactly where I am right now, for your free 89 overall Tyreek Hill. That's got a comp thing, so I have that going on in the background to get it. But he talked, and it pissed a lot of people off. It really made a lot of people angry in the Madden community, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. Here is the Joe Hayden card right there, 87 speed. It's, whatever. Zone coverage is too low. He's gonna get a power up too. You can see the power up symbol, and so on and so forth. So Veterans on their way tomorrow. He looks very mad, but it's a Steeler, so it's fun for the theme team. You won't need the power up to get him on the Steelers. Luckily, that's back from last year. So let's go through what Clint had to say about offense and defense in Madden 22.
So looking at game health, it's actually fairly strong on the defensive side of
Okay, I'll
the
stop
ball
that.
here in this early part of the Madden season. I just want to give a couple data points that we're looking at that are informing this plan moving forward. So first of all, average yards per passing play in Madden 22 is very, very close to what it was in Madden 21. Across all the different passing plays, that average ranges from flat year over year to a maximum increase of 2 yards per play.
Just 2 yards per
If
play.
you look at the defensive side of the ball, average yards allowed per coverage type. So that's taking, cover 2, cover 4, cover 3, breaking it down and looking at what's the average yards allowed per coverage type. That ranges from flat year over year to a max increase of 1.5 yards per play when compared to Madden 21. The interception rate in Madden 22 is nearly 10% compared to the 2020 real world NFL rate, which was only 2.2%. So we're almost 8% higher than the real life NFL in terms of interceptions thrown.
Madden players bunch of Nathan Petermans, huh?
And that number is actually slightly up from Madden 21. And then the most powerful one that I want to tell our players about, average score per team in online head-to-head play in Madden 22 is 24 points per game. That's almost exactly the same as the NFL 2020 average of 24.7. And for players who are less experienced, that average actually drops down to 14 points per game.
All right, so he says some other things, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I want to go through the stats. And I tweeted out lies, damn lies, and statistics, right? Basically, a saying that says you can paint any picture you want with stats, no matter how you want to dress it up. So what Clint did here, by kind of going through this, and just this section, basically starting off by saying defense in a decent spot. It does not match with what we're seeing on the field. And the last point right there that said, oh, bad players are scoring only 14 points per game, while the average for all players are 24 points per game, which is NFL average. Now, you can go ahead and point to things like the NFL having twice the number of plays as Madden generally in online play, in 4-minute quarters versus 15. And it's a fair point, right? Okay, so scores look kind of realistic. I don't mind that at all. But if bad players is scoring 14 and there's a significant amount of bad players online, more than there are good players, then that means good players are scoring quite significantly more than 24 points per game. Now, there's the argument that say, hey, whatever, you got to balance it for everybody, bad players and good players, and I get that, but generally you kind of want to have a game that's easy to get into but hard to master. And if offense is scoring, and we'll just say good players putting up 30 to 40 points a game, it doesn't feel great on defense, right? When you can make the right adjustments and they're still scoring on you. It doesn't feel like you're very powerful on the user. Your flat routes don't cover drags. The running back drag is my worst nightmare. Your cover threes get beat by wheel routes and streaks. That's not shown in these statistics, right? The zone breakdowns. Now, he does go on to say that they're going to spot tune zones. They've already spot tuned cover 2 a little bit. And there's still a lot more work to do, which I'm glad. That's the way of doing it. But to go out here and say defense is in a solid spot is basically wrong, right? Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining, okay? You don't lie to me with stats like that and then be like, yeah, it's fine. We're going to work on it. Like, I want to hear about you working on it. I don't want to hear you about telling me it's fine and that overall it's okay. It's a, 2 yards difference, whatever, 2 yards of play. I mean, 2 yards of play added up for a pass play. Like, let's talk. That's kind of a lot, isn't it? Right? You only need 3 yards of play if you go for it every fourth down to get a first down the entire drive down the field. To add 2 more yards on each play on top of what it was in 21, that's kind of a significant boost. And so to sit there and be like, it's not that much. It's like, what were they in 21? If 2 yards per play isn't that much. So it's overall frustrating to see this kind of messaging come out to the players when the feedback we're giving you is it's too easy to play offense. The zones aren't good enough. It's hard on defense because, your pocket doesn't form. So guys can just roll out wherever. Your contains actually really suck. So, like, to see this thing, and if you would have said more about that, like, here are the issues that we see. Here are the issues that we want to spot fix, right? A corner route without a clear route against a cover 3 corner. Hey, you won't be able to just throw that all day over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? To hear that kind of stuff would have been much better from a player perspective. Hey, we understand match coverage is broken. We understand the NFL today is all about match coverages, and it's how they defend a lot of those compression sets like bunch. But because bunch is so powerful in Madden, because we just don't have those matches, right? Because they get easily one played. I think it's like 2 curls in a streak, boom, you get a touchdown against match. So it's overall, to hear what we say to them and then to hear what they say back to us with leading off with defenses in a fine spot, it just kind of feels like you're spitting in our face, like you're not listening, right? I know in the end you're a spokesman for the company. This is your job. You're supposed to make it all sound like roses and rainbow. But the people that are watching GMM, they're not the same people you're sending out there with your Ray Lewis commercials, the ones that you're broadcasting to ESPN to talk about, hey, bye, Matt. No, these are the hardcores. You can speak to us like adults, right? Do you think you saying it's peaches and cream is going to change our opinion? No. If you're honest and open with us about the problems and you're like, yes, we recognize that problem, that goes much farther than saying defense is in a fine spot, because everybody knows that's not true. Even casuals know that's not true. Okay? So please, in the communication sense, treat us like adults. Because when you treat us like kids and you tell us everything's fine, and then we end up saying parents divorce, we realize it was a lie all along, we get jaded, okay? We get jaded, we become edgy teenagers. You don't want no edgy teenagers, because we'll cut you. We'll cut you good. Out of a piece of paper and make paper mache products. That's what we cut, okay? I don't know where I was going with that. I blame the schools, okay? So in the end, that was awful. I apologize. We're cutting nobody. We're not cutting anybody. We're not cutting paper mache, okay? Please, treat us like we've been to this dance a few times. This ain't our first rodeo. Everybody knows there are problems in this game. Everybody knows there's problems in every game, okay? I do really appreciate, though, the fact that he mentions they're not going to globally tune defensive adjustments, right? We've seen that Band-Aid in Madden 18. We've seen that Band-Aid before, like, oh, passing's too easy, boom, zones all of a sudden are psychic, right? We got freaking Miss Cleo back there at safety. No. I'm glad that they're actually fixing the fundamental issues and the reasons why we hate Madden, right? The fact that our guys are out there standing like cones against the scramble drill. They're not looking for work. The fact that they drop to a spot and don't recognize kind of, we do kind of like spot drops, zone drops are nice. But the fact that they don't recognize players coming into their zone and only react once the ball's been thrown. They did better in 22 a lot of times with them recognizing guys coming through their zones. I will say that it's better than it's been. But it is not nearly where it needs to be because drags are bad. Cover 3, deep thirds, reacting to wheel routes, letting streaks run past them. I think there are a place in every single game for one-play bombs, but not like that. Not where they're dumb. Not where like middle schoolers would react to it better than the professional athletes that you try to portray on the field. Right? Middle linebackers on the goal line, not reacting to a run when all the down blocks are happening. The fact that me as a user is already in the backfield by the time the computer reacts, even when they're a high-level defender, that's wrong. You got to be able to have play rec on that. Like, I know play recs right now are whatever they're at. They're not the highest. But even if they were 99, they're still not reacting very well. And it's very frustrating to see that contextually. Like, hey, get in there and smash his mouth, right? Be like Spillane against Henry. Boom, one-on-one. Sure, Spillane hurt his shoulders, but he stopped Henry dead in his tracks. Spillane got the worst of that interaction, but it was still cool to see. Somebody was able to stop and stand up to that guy. So that's the issue, right? That's the issue with the game right now. And I really hope in the future, when they have devs on, when they have Clint on, they could just be open and honest with us and not give us these stats saying the game's playing great, smile. That's all I got. What do you guys think? Sorry, I rambled for a while. I'm sure there's a lot of other things we got to discuss, but maybe we'll do a video tonight if there's other things to discuss. And I know there will be. But enjoy your free 89 Tyreek Hill you get for viewbotting the EA Madden NFL Championship Series. Have it going on in your background for sure. I don't know how long it's going to take, but you can probably see that with the drops. Maybe like 45 minutes to get them. You got to do it like both nights, though. So I expect good viewership numbers. I don't know how many actual viewers, but good viewership numbers tonight. Until we meet again, I'll see you on chat, in Twitch chat, on my Twitch channel, where I want you there to view about me. Please, I need it. I got diapers to pay, college education, rent's due. Maybe I'll hop in the tub. It's not the end of the month. No hot tub stream for me. Rambling again. Bye.